Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 30 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. It is time for a world download. Well, at the end of this episode at least. So I want to make sure I accomplish just a few things between the start and end of this episode so that you guys have a nice, cool world to download and play with. So last episode we did some pretty heavy-duty Thaumcraft base building, and I think it turned out pretty good. Now, in order to complete and make sure that you have a pretty functional thaumatorium, I decided I would want to finish this up. So the plan for today is to get an infusion altar going, get some stuff going for breaking down items into aspects, getting some jars going to store those aspects, and then finally I would like to make a door that's going to be pretty cool, I think. We're going to find out. So let's get started playing around with what we want to do. There's several things that we want to make here. You can see I've done a bunch of research between last episode and this one. So I've got a few things covered. I did some alchemy research, unlocked a few things, did some artifice research, unlocked a few things, and I even broke into some Galamancy, which we'll check out in a bit. And I was just poking around. I don't think I did much in these two mods. I did do a little bit with Thaumic Esoterica, aka Thaumic Exploration mod. So there's a few items I unlocked here, but nothing terribly exciting. Just some basic stuff. I did unlock floating candles, which are pretty neat and I might want to play with. And I also got this, a transmutative wand core. I haven't played with this much yet, but it's pretty cool. It looks like that when you have a certain V aspect in your core that's over 90%, it'll drain out and fill the rest of the aspects. That's kind of cool. I might want to make one of those eventually, but not just yet. So let's start with the infusion altar. This is going to be one of the first things that we're going to really focus on making. It's going to unlock a large aspect of the mod because the infusion altar is pretty much what's used to do a bunch of stuff. A lot of the crafting requires an infusion altar, so that's what we're going to take a look at. So I'm just going to grab some air shards. I know I'm going to need some smooth stone while I'm at it. I'm going to need at least an ender pearl. What else am I going to need here? Probably, oh wow, I need 40 Ordo for that. Well, I'm going to have to go to my Ordo node and refill. So this is basically what your infusion altar is going to look like in the end. Let's just make sure that we have everything we need before we head back. That should be enough for now. So let's get everything together. So first off, what we're going to want to do is create a good handful of those arcane stone blocks that we saw last episode. So let's see here. If we take a look in the infusion altar, we'll see that's just stone around any shard, right? So let's get a good handful of those. A stack ought to do. Cool. And I know I'm going to need at least a handful of these arcane stone bricks. Cool. Now the other thing we're going to need to get is the runic matrix, which is this guy. So let's put them together. And again, it's just this in the middle here, any shards, and any of these. Cool. Insufficient V. Oh, I need 44 curses. Wow. Oh, right. Should have it in here. That's better. Cool. And I'll try and do as much crafting with my regular old wand as I can. Now, the only other thing we're going to need, besides most of this stuff, are these, which are arcane stone blocks, give us arcane pedestals. I'm going to want 9 of them total, but we get about 2 at a time. So we're going to need, looks like, quite a bit. How am I for air here? Not too bad. That ought to do. Clear all this out. And let's get the basic foundation set up, but unfortunately now my wand doesn't have enough aspects stored in it to actually do this, but that's okay. So around the altar here, we're going to place down the arcane pedestals. Okay, these are going to be used for our arcane infusion crafting that we want to do. In the center here, and you can see this if you look in the book, you're going to want to basically have arcane stone bricks, and then on top of that, arcane stone blocks. Okay, so that's going to go here on these 4 sides. So we're going to want arcane stone bricks and arcane stone blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. In the very middle, you're going to want 1 more pedestal. And then 1 block above that is where the runic matrix needs to go. Now to activate this thing, I need a charged wand. So let's go and charge ours up. I'm going to just have to run around to all the different nodes that I have in the world and charge up my wand as best I can. I will be back in a minute. Alright, running around just a little bit, and I should have enough. You can see my wand is almost full. I just need a little bit more air, but that's alright. It requires 25 of each to activate this nifty multi-block. Let's do it by simply right-clicking on the runic matrix. Ta-da! So the infusion altar is ready to go. Nice. Now, in order to do any infusion crafting, we need to get some purified aspects of essentia. So essentia can be broken down in a couple different ways. You can store them in jars. So you can see there's a bunch of different jars available here that you can have all the different types of essentia stored in. And those are just basically liquefied versions of your magical aspects that make up items. So, oh, by the way, make sure that you scan all the things. Dun, 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 dun. Infusion pillar, I don't know if that has anything, but the matrix usually has a lot. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. So what we want to do then is, and did I scan all these guys already? Yeah. We want to make the following. In order to break down items into their respective essentia, we need the essentia distillation research, which I've already completed. And it's not too bad. Some arcane stone blocks, a furnace, and a crucible to get started will get us the alchemical furnace. So let's do this. You know what I'm probably going to need is to get some iron. Can't wait till I have that door ready, by the way. It's going to be awesome. I'm just going to get a bunch of iron and head on back. So we wanted the crucible. So not a cauldron, but a crucible. So remember to go ahead and place it down and give it a good hit with a wand. And we're going to place that with a furnace. And some arcane stone. There we go. And we just need a little bit of magical aspects here to get going. Cool. So now that we've got our alchemical furnace, that guy is going to go right here. Now that'll break the aspects, or break items down into just like a big old mess of aspects. But what we want to do is filter out those aspects into individual ones, and for that we're going to need the next component of this research, an arcane alembic. So in order for this to work, we're going to need to find some silverwood. So what we want to make is an arcane alembic requiring some iron, gold, and a bucket, and a V filter, which requires some silverwood planks and some more gold. So step one, let's go get some gold, and I'm pretty sure that I have yet to track down a silverwood, which might spell trouble for me. So let me get some more iron in here, and I'll get a few more pieces of gold while I'm at it. I'm going to have to go out into the world and explore, hoping to find a silverwood tree. I could take a look at journey map here and just see if I've encountered anything that looks like a silverwood in the distance. Anywhere silverwood trees by chance? They're pretty rare and not too easy to find. So I might just have to go out exploring. Why don't I do that? I'm going to go look through the world and see if I can't find a silverwood tree, and I'll come back when and if I find one. Alright guys, it took me a while, but I finally found a silverwood tree. Nice. So let's take a look. I need to scan these things first, because that's always a good move. And I need an axe, because I want to chop this tree down. It's unfortunate that I have to chop the tree down, but hey, I need the resources, I need the stuff, so let's get to work. You'll also note that often there's some kind of node inside the heart of the silverwood tree. You should be able to find that pretty easily with your goggles on. Let's go ahead and come up here. I wouldn't mind scanning this guy. There it is. So it's usually pretty small, but it's worth scanning the node. And when you do chop that down, you might wind up getting yourself some ethereal essence. Good stuff to hang on to, by the way. Ethereal essence is going to be useful for some later on features. You can get that, you can destroy any node in the world that you find. I usually don't like to destroy nodes if I can avoid it, because, you know, you're going to want them. But eventually you're going to get to the point where you don't need to worry that much about whether or not you're destroying nodes. And at that point, if you want some ethereal essence, you can do that. Otherwise, you can hunt for them by killing wisps. Easy to find wisps in the nether, but they do exist in the overworld as well. Now, chopping down this tree, make sure to hang out and wait around in hopes of collecting a silverwood sapling, because that would be pretty much ideal. If you can find yourself, there's a silverwood sapling. It must be floating around on one of the leaves up there, because it looks like it's trying to make its way into my inventory and hasn't yet. but that's okay. As the leaves fall, they'll turn into saplings. They're very rare. You'll like sometimes chop down an entire tree and not get a single sapling. So don't be surprised if you don't get one in your first attempt. But do try and grab them when you can, because growing silverwood trees is a good thing, and you're going to want to do that. So I'm going to make my way back to my base. I've finally found this. It took me like 20 minutes. They're pretty rare. If you do find a magical biome, by the way, any biomes that are like magical in nature, you should find silverwood trees to be more common. All right, I'll be back at my base in a minute, and we will take care of this. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to get myself a handful of these things here. I'm guessing I'm going to do 3 to start off. So let's go ahead and, oh, you know what? That's cool. I get 2 of them per. All right, well, that works then. Nice. So you can also use silverwoods for building. That's pretty neat use of them. So I'm going to toss these guys. Oh, I had extra arcane stone blocks. What a dire derp I am. Oh, well, that's okay. So let's put this together. I'm going to need, I think, 6 buckets. Hopefully that'll be good. And then it was something like the bucket in the middle, the gold, this guy, and this. Yeah, that's what I want for my alembic. I'm just going to get 1 more snag of gold. And then pop on back. And there we go. I should be able to get 6 of these. Nice. And I still have a little bit of V left in my wand. Wow, it burned through all my aqua. That's okay. So what I've decided I want to do, and let me try and get, well, yeah, why not? Let's do it. I'm gonna put it together now. Sure. Snag this guy. And all right, so here's the plan. I made another one of these alchemical furnaces, and I want actually 2 of them because I thought this looked good, and it'll also be pretty functional too. We'll probably start off using just 1, but eventually use both. So there we go. So what you do is you stack the arcane alembics on top of the alchemical furnace, and then you're in good shape. So for these alchemical furnaces, you're going to need some kind of fuel source. Luckily, I have a barrel full of charcoal. Hooray! My tree farm actually stopped, as you can see, because my barrels are pretty full. Let's go ahead and toss these guys in here. So charcoal and charcoal. Beautiful. So now that we've got these things left, we have pretty much everything we need in order to get this thing working. So we can boil down aspects into boil down items into their component aspects. So for example, if we wanted to get these air shards here, which I'll go ahead and scan because I haven't gotten around to scanning yet, and we tossed them in here, so one of these, it would quickly burn up the item and break it down into its respective components that are all in a big gooey mess. That gooey mess will be filtered into the alembics on the top, and you can see that we now have 2 air, 1 crystal, and 1 magic. Neat. And if I were to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more of these and just toss them on there, it would rapidly burn through them all, and then we'll start getting more and more of each aspect. So there's a couple different ways we can go about transporting these aspects and storing them. But before we can start storing them, I'm going to need more aqua in my wand. So why don't I go get my wand refilled? As you can see, I have almost none left, and it's pretty much the main one I need right now. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so the next thing we need to make are jars, and luckily they're pretty easy to get your hands on. Just go ahead and get some glass panes like I'm doing here, and I'm just going to get a handful to get started. This should be not quite as many as we need. We want a few more than this in the long run, but this will be a good starting point just so we can see what the room looks like. And then we just want to throw on top an oak slab. And you'll notice we need 1 water aspect to go with that. So let's go ahead and pull that out of our gold wand. That's fine. Boom. And there we go. We've got our jars. Ooh, it's nighttime. Better watch out for creepers and such sneaking up on me in my new base. Speaking of, I think it's time to get the door working. So why don't we do that? I'm going to get the jars laid down. We haven't managed to transport our essentia yet. What I'm going to do is get just a little bit of clay and show you guys real quick how this works. I believe the recipe is this. Nice. That'll get me glass files. This is the most basic and manual way of transporting aspects around. Just looking for creepers. Let's go ahead and get some jars placed down. So what I'm going to do is break these dirt blocks here, which were just temporary holding slots for where the jars would be going. And I'm going to have my excavator on me. That'll make things easier in a second. Jars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To go ahead and fill your aspects, so you should have 16 air, and 8 and 8 of each of these because of the stuff we did just a minute ago. Just right click and it'll go in here. You'll notice that each jar can only hold one kind of aspect. So you can hold 8 at a time in each glass vial, and one of each aspect type is allowed in a jar. Later on, there is an upgraded thing that can hold more, but it's pretty deep in the tech tree. So let me get this stuff laid out, and then we're going to switch gears from magic to tech because I want to build a really cool door that should be a lot of fun to play with. Let's get started here. Oh, that's pretty close to how many I need. Nice. So we're going to have a second row of these. That we'll kind of just put up here. My math says there's 48 different aspect types. So I have, 24 on the bottom row and 24 on the top. All right, let's get out of magic for a minute and into tech because I want to make some cool stuff that's going to definitely help us out. Be right back. All right, guys, popping out over here to my Tinker's Construct setup, I would like to add another drain here. Don't worry, when you break and replace, it retains its inventory. Hooray! Throw some more copper in there for the minute. And this drain is going to, instead of draining into a casting table, dump into a casting basin, which is a great way to convert a lot of liquid into a lot of metal all at once. The reason I want to do that is I'm cooking up a lot of aluminum brass. This stuff is going to be used to make our door. So you can see here that this will take 9 blocks or 9 ingots worth of liquid out of here and basically turn it into a block. So you can see we're quickly draining our aluminum brass and we'll lose about 9 ingots worth and then suddenly it'll harden into a block. Hooray! So let's snag another bunch. There we go. That should bring us up to about 18 worth. I want to get just a little bit more. So aluminum brass, it's 3 aluminum to 1 copper. So that should be 8 aluminum. Well, yeah, 6 aluminum. Yeah, that should be good. I think that's the right component mix. Let's get us a little bit more aluminum brass. Nice. Hooray! So I'm getting as much of this stuff as I can because what I want to make are drawbridges. Drawbridges are a really cool way to make doors, at least in my opinion. And you're going to need some aluminum brass. You're also going to need some blank casts. The best way to get those is to take, again, aluminum brass right here and just pour it into a blank casting table here with nothing in it. So normally you would get casts by just doing, putting the item that you need in there and then casting around that item. But in this case, we're actually not doing that. We want to just get a blank cast, which is just made as shown. So there we go. We've got a little bit more. I think in total I'm going to need 6 of these if my memory is correct. And we can convert these aluminum brass blocks into just regular old aluminum brass. Cool. So one more blank cast will get us part of what we need. And then the last thing I believe I need is some bronze. So that stuff's not too hard, just iron or copper and tin. Might even have some hanging around still, a little bit, but I'm going to want a little bit more. So let's get, sure, 18 and then 610. Is that right? Nice. And then finally, just a bit of redstone. And hopefully I didn't forget anything. Oh, right, I need a dispenser, don't I? Yeah, dispensers are cool. They are just bows and some cobble. So I should be able to pull that off pretty well. I'm going to want 3 of these in total. So let's get 9 of you and some wood. That ought to do. So let's throw this together real fast. You, followed by, oops, dispensers. Okay. Oh, that's right. Bows don't stack, so we can't do that. So 1, 2. Oh, I didn't want droppers. That's okay. Just wasting a little bit of resources, but I'll live. And dispenser and droppers, you can go away for now. Dispenser, cool. So now that I've got the dispenser set up, I should be good to go to make 3 drawbridges, but I actually want something even better. I want the advanced drawbridge. Nice. So the advanced drawbridge is really cool in my opinion because it allows you to do something pretty neat. So I'll show you in just a minute here what the drawbridges are going to do for us. So let's go pop on out over to here. So I'm going to want some of this holy stone and some arcane blocks. So I've got some of the arcane stone blocks, no problem. And I'm going to also want some of this holy stone, which I think I need another feather for, but that also should be no issue. Let's grab ourselves a mob drop chest feather. And do I have some smooth stone on me? Not quite enough. Oh yeah, there's some. There we go. Holy stone's ready to go. Just need to get my chisel. And you can go away for now too. So it was the fancy stuff, right? Yeah, fancy holy stone construction. So what drawbridges do is pretty neat. Regular drawbridges can extend in any direction a bunch of blocks when this thing receives a redstone signal. So to demonstrate, I'm going to go ahead. With a normal drawbridge, you would be able to just put a bunch of stuff in the slot here that wouldn't be marked inventory. It would just be a slot, and I could put like a stack of cobble. But in this case, with the advanced drawbridge, I get to specify exactly which items I want to have extend. So you'll notice that over here, I've got 3 arcane blocks followed by the holy stone block, right? So if I go to the inventory here, fill in 3 arcane stone blocks, and then the holy stone, when I apply a lever to this, ta-da! And when I retract the lever, double ta-da. So let's go ahead and put that in place where I want it to be. Now, what I'm going to actually need is some of the other holy stones. So let's get this. And I'm going to grab half of you and get the mysterious symbol one. That should work. Now, what's cool about these drawbridges, by the way, is they do retain their inventory when you pick them up. So you'll notice that the arcane blocks and the holy stone that I placed in there still exists. Let's do this for the other 3. And you might be saying to yourself, oh, Direwolf, that looks ugly now. You've got this ugly thing just sitting there, don't I? Yeah, it's unfortunate. Luckily, drawbridges are cool in that you can place a block in this slot here, and the drawbridge will look like whatever block you place in there. Nice. So you can't even tell there's drawbridges there. They probably won't do the glowing particle effect thing, so that's one way you might be able to tell that this isn't really holy stone stuff, but that's good enough for me. I don't care. So let's go ahead and do this. If I maybe apply a redstone signal here, ta-da, door closed. Look at that. It's perfect. You can't even tell. But when you flip the lever again, door open. So now, for the fun part, we're going to build a mechanic that's going to work for our advantage in this. What I want to get is a few things. Let's see. I know I'm going to need a bit of you, and unfortunately a lot of you, 4 of them to be exact. And what I want to get is from Britannia. It's this guy, the Ender Overseer. He's pretty cool. Let's just grab a piece of obsidian and I can put them together. So Ender Pearl plus Blaze Rods equal Eye of Ender. And if we wanted to get the Overseer from Britannia, there we go. What does this block do? Well, allow me to demonstrate. It takes advantage of the power of the Enderman, and it will emit a redstone signal whenever a player looks at it. Cool, right? So let's go ahead and put this over here. What I'm thinking is, I haven't decided exactly where I want this to be. I was thinking up here, but that might be just a little bit high, but we're going to try it, see how it works, and if I don't like it, maybe I'll put it like on the side here or something. But right in the middle there might be cool. Now all I need to do is make sure that I can connect a redstone signal to all those blocks underneath to that. And in order to make that work, I'm going to use some conduit facades. So I'm going to want some insulated redstone cable. And for this I'm going to need more redstone alloy. Which do I have some of? No, I have conductive iron. I knew I had something. And I always forget which one of these this is. Is this stuff the silicon and redstone? Yeah. So let's get, I don't know, 21? That sound good? And 21 redstone ought to do. Put this guy into alloy mode. There you go. Let that start cooking up. Get myself some more conduits here. And what I'm thinking I'm going to need is more of these conduit facades. So just get a count, just so I do this like in an accurate sort of manner. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are arcane stone blocks, and 1 that's the holy stone, like this. So, and I wanted to test to make sure this would work, so there's already 1 in here that's a facade. So I just need 4 more. Are you done cooking up at least some alloy? Almost there. When I get 9, I'll start crafting a bit more. How's that sound? Get more conduit binders. 9. You should be on your last leg here. Cool. So that's 4 of those. I'm going to get a 5th in a minute. and then I can get this thing and one of these. Nice. That should work. I might want to do something, I'm pretty sure actually, I'm 95% sure that I'm going to need some red alloy wire. So this is 4 redstone and some iron. 4 redstone and a piece of iron. I'll do 3 of them. And an induction smelter. 3 and 12. Cool. I'll be back after I've finished crafting everything I need, and then we will be ready to put this together. Alright, so one thing I want to make is a state cell from Project Red. It's another logic circuit that should help us out with our door. I'm going to require a silicon chip, though, which requires some infused silicon, which is a silicon surrounded by redstone. Silicon comes from a diamond saw and a silicon boule. A silicon boule comes from a sandy coal compound. You get the gist. This is a little bit, not terribly hard, but still a bit of a nuisance to make. So let's get our sandy coal compound first and start cooking that up in furnace mode right here. While that's going, I'm going to need a diamond saw, which requires 1 diamond, 3 stone tool rods. Do I have any extra stone tool rods laying around? No, probably not. And a couple sticks. So let's just get that, and the tool rods are pretty easy to make, luckily. We'll do that. Then we can get our diamond saw. This guy should be done. We can cut him up into silicon. Probably don't need you in my inventory at the minute. And we can surround that silicon, one of these, with 8 redstone. Gets me the silicon boule, and then we can put that in there, and hooray! Infused silicon. Nice. So a little bit of crafting later, and we've got this thing ready to go. Just put away some junk. I'm gonna have to upgrade this chest eventually. Alright, I want some of these and this stuff. Back in a minute. I have a little bit of juggling of items to do so I can craft. 3 cheers for state cells. These are cool blocks. I'm just going to demonstrate. Actually, let me come out of bat mode so I can show you how this works. What this does, it will allow me to emit a redstone signal out the front once we receive a redstone signal from the side. So watch this. And I'm going to set this guy to 4 seconds. Does that sound good? Just fix this. 4 seconds. Okay. So what happens is when we receive a redstone pulse, it'll emit a redstone for 4 seconds. That's basically what I want to do. I want to be able to quickly look at this, have it emit a pulse, keep the door open for 4 seconds, and then close it behind me after 4 seconds. I don't want to have to stare at this the whole time I'm walking through. That would be annoying. I want a quick glance, and then it's ready to go. So let's put this together. First things first, let's run our wiring down here underground. And that's why I wanted to be in bat mode. Is it already nighttime again? Alright, be right back. Alright, so here's the plan. Let's first connect our insulated redstone. And apparently you don't recognize these as redstone blocks, so we're going to need our Yeta wrench. I thought we would be able to get away without needing that, but my bad. Whoops. They probably went here. Yeah. Alright, let's try that again. Silly sorting system. Alright, so shift left click, we're going to say up. We'll be in out, and the color red is fine. You know what, actually, no, I don't want these here. I want to use my redstone. We're going to run this like this. I'm probably going to have to do it. Yeah, for some reason it's not recognizing the drawbridges, so let's do it like this. And then we can come down. And here... let's do it like this. So that I can have my state cell here. And you know what, I need my screwdriver too. Always forgetting the little things. The state cell we want to rotate. Remember, and you want to look at this in Whala, but you remember that the input is on the side, right? So I can probably... No, I'm going to want that there, aren't I? This should work. So if I... oh, you know what? I'm probably going to need a NOT gate as well. Yeah, that's going to get even trickier. Alright, let's do this then. I wonder if I can get this guy to do this. Let me think for a minute about how I want this to work out. Alright guys, so what we've got here then is the state cell's output going here, a NOT gate here, and the door is remaining closed. So, go ahead and flip the lever here. Not that lever. You should actually be... You know, I think I need the NOT gate reversed. So let's do that. Yeah, the NOT gate should be first, and then the state cell. So I'll have the NOT gate here. The state cell there, and let's see if I can rotate this in a little bit of a way. Hopefully. Nice. So you'll see that when we get a pulse here, and I'm going to bump this guy up to 4 seconds. A pulse will open the door for 4 seconds. Cool. Only problem is that the NOT gate is holding this one open. I want this one open too. So maybe we have to move this back a little bit. If I put the NOT gate here... It's always fun playing with redstone a little bit. You just have to come up with the right setup. There we go. All 3 open, and then all 3 close. Sweet. It's just not perfect yet. I want them to all go at once. That one on the right is a little bit faster because it's still too close to the state cell. So maybe what I'll do is move the state cell here. And... so you guys get to see me troubleshoot this a little bit. And shift click it so that the input is on this side. See? Perfect now, right? Looks better? Alright, make sure this is set to 4 seconds. This is where the input has to be. Now, the only thing I'm not sure about is how well I'm going to be able to connect insulated redstone conduit to regular old redstone here. So let's put this like so. Yet a wrench this guy. The direction we're talking about is east. And we're going to say in, out, color red. That should work. Hopefully that works. We're going to find out in a minute. So let's run this guy up to here. And again, it's east, in, out, color red, so that when I look at this, nice. And then 4 seconds later, boom, closes. I like it. There's one thing that's bothering me, guys, and that's when I look at this. The right door opens a little bit faster, but they both close at the same time. So I'm thinking that this thing is somehow, even though I say the east side is disabled, still interacting. So I'm going to move this and see if that's correct, and I'm right about what the problem is. I even tried putting a cover there to block this connection, and still no luck. So let's do this. I'm just going to move him over one little bit. And this shouldn't really make a difference in the build. It just, you know, it's a difference of where I put stuff. Like that. And now will you close and open correctly? Yeah, look at that. Perfect. And then 4 seconds later, closes right behind me. And I can adjust that as much as I want. If I want it to be like, you know, 3.5 seconds, no problem, right? I can just bump it down. If I felt like it was opening just a little bit too fast. Or closing again too slow. That should be plenty of time for me to get through and close behind me. Nice. I might even bump it down to a whole 3 seconds. But let me sleep through the night, and then we will cover everything up. Alright, now for closing this thing up. I hope this doesn't have a problem being here. Let's see. Actually, no, you should be... well, actually, it doesn't really matter what you are, but... Ah, yeah, see? I knew it. See how the right one? The redstone signal is traveling through this block. So I might need to move this over one more. Could just try disabling this on the east side. See, for some reason it's just not behaving. So I might have to move it over once more. Alright, so just to confirm, this should be behaving now. Nice. So we can 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, this. We'll put the holy stone covers here and here. I'm going to need a little bit more of the facades, but at least I can get them in place. 1, 2, 3. No, come back, you. There you are. This can be this one, this can be this one. We just need 2 more, and then I can cover this up with dirt. Let's just go get those last 2 facades. And then we should be in good shape. 1, 2. Should throw a capacitor in here at some point just to speed this little process up. But not right now. There we go, back to here. Look at the door, it opens up. Nice. And ta-da! Build complete. So, whenever I want to get into my Thaumcraft area, just look up at the thing, door opens up, and closes behind me a few seconds later. And if I ever feel like, you know what, those few seconds are too long, I can just break open this hole and say, hey, you know what, make it 2 seconds. There we go, open up. More than enough time to get inside and have the door close behind me. Cool, right? I like it. Oh boy, this inventory is getting full now. Gonna have a problem soon. Any overflow yet in here, though? Nope, we're fine there. Alright, so before we wrap up the episode, I've got one more present for you guys. If we look in our Thaumonomicon, actually, so let's grab this guy, we can see that Thaumic Tinkerer gives us this nifty tome of knowledge sharing. Now, in previous Let's Play series, this didn't work, but I believe that I've been told that it should work now. So what I need to do is craft this tome of knowledge sharing, Thaumonomicon, 3 paper, and some scribing tools. Cool. So I think I can make scribing tools actually with these vile things that I've got. Nice. Thaumonomicon, what was it again? Whoops. Yeah, we have to wrap up the episode. In the middle, and then scribing tools on top. Okay. And then paper, paper, paper. Cool. Now when I craft that, and right-click it, it says Research Written. Cool. Bound to Direwolf 20's research. If you guys want, you can download this world and just right-click this book, and you should get all the research that I've thus far done. Neat, right? So you do now have access to my research. I'm just going to clean up my inventory here. There's a lot of stuff I don't need in it right at the moment. Put all this junk away. Aluminum brass, you can go in here. I'm not sure if you're on the list of things that go in here or not, but hopefully I can get that added real quick. And for now, Direwolf 20, wrapping up episode 30. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode today. We've got a world download available to you, so I think last time I forgot to do this, but I'm going to do it this time because I don't want to forget. I'm going to put all my stuff in a chest, so I hope one chest is enough to hold all my junk. So there, and my armor, and I don't think I have anything on this tab yet, right? Nope. So there you go. My world download is ready for you guys to play with. So, yeah, we'll be back next time. Obviously, lots more cool stuff to do. Hope you enjoyed that door. I'm pretty happy with it. Ha, I can even open it from all the way over here. It's a 64-block range, according to the lexicon. All right, guys, Direwolf 20 signing off. Take it easy.